My mom thinks she's entitled to my money and I'm sick of it. Hey everyone, I need some outside perspective on this because I'm starting to feel like I'm the bad guy here. I'm 22 and recently received a financial benefit due to my disability. It's not a huge amount, but it's something that helps me stay afloat. When I applied, I had my mom's name on the form, not because she contributed anything, just because the form had an option for a parent to be listed. Well, now that I've actually received the money, my mom thinks she's entitled to half of it. I explained to her that the money is meant for me, and I even called the benefits office to confirm. Despite that, she keeps insisting that she deserves part of it, saying things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me, and I have debts to pay, and you don't even care." I told her I'd be willing to give her a small portion just to help out, but she said that wasn't enough. She got mad, accused me of being selfish, and guilt-tripped me so badly that I started wondering if maybe I'm in the wrong. I finally snapped and said that if she keeps disrespecting me, she won't get anything at all. Now she's been giving me the silent treatment for over a day. We usually talk all the time, so this feels weird. And now I'm sitting here, second-guessing everything. Am I being too harsh? Should I just give in to keep the peace? Or am I right to stand my ground? My mom keeps stealing from me, and I don't know how to stop it. I don't even know how to deal with this anymore. I need advice. I, 25F, still live with my parents because in my culture, women don't move out until they get married. It's not ideal, but I've accepted it. What I can't accept, though, is the fact that my own mother keeps stealing money from me. I rarely carry cash, but whenever I do, it somehow disappears. The first time, I had $500 in my bag and it just vanished. When I confronted my mom about it, she stuttered and said, "Maybe you dropped it somewhere." A few hours later, like magic, she found it in some random place. It's happened at least 10 times now. Every time she denies it, then guilt trips me. How could you accuse your own mother? I pray and fast I would never steal. Fine, I didn't take it, but I'll give it back. Just don't ever talk to me again. This morning I woke up and found that $1,000 was missing from my bag. I had checked it before going to bed, and by the time I woke up, it was gone. I confronted her again, and of course she denied it. I feel trapped. I can't move out. I can't lock my money up. She'd find a way, and I don't know how to make this stop. What do I do? How do you deal with a parent who steals from you? My parents disowned me, and now my mom has cancer and wants to talk. I don't know what to do. I never thought I'd be in this situation. I feel lost and angry, and I don't know what the right thing to do is. My parents disowned me last year. It wasn't the first time. This was actually the second time they cut me off completely. The first time lasted a few months, but they eventually came back. And just like before, things seemed fine at first, but they weren't. A little background. My father was abusive. My mother, though never violent, was always in his shadow. Our family looked perfect from the outside. Good income, vacations, all the material things we needed. But inside it was fear, control, and manipulation. I didn't fully understand how toxic it was until I met my long-term boyfriend. Being with him made me realize that how my parents treated me wasn't normal. At first they were fine with my boyfriend, but then things changed. They started criticizing my choices, belittling me, acting like I was a child. When my boyfriend and I moved in together, my father lost it because we didn't come to ask for permission in person. When we later decided to move to a rural area to fix up an old house, they disowned me again. When they finally started speaking to me again, the cycle of manipulation continued. They insulted where I lived, mocked my choices, said I was ruining my life. When my boyfriend and I had a rough patch, I temporarily moved back in with them, and they loved it. They convinced themselves they had saved me. But the moment I decided to get back together with my boyfriend, they turned on me again. They gave me an ultimatum: stay with them and block my boyfriend forever, or walk out the door and never come back. I panicked and blocked him. For a month, I was stuck in this nightmare. Then I realized how insane it was that they thought they could control a 23-year-old woman like this. I moved out completely. That's when they really cut me off, told me I'd only be welcome in their home again, in a coffin or on a stretcher. They harassed my grandparents, turned family against me, and spread lies about me. And now, my mother has cancer. She had surgery and she's recovering. My grandparents, who still secretly visit me, gave her my number and she messaged me. She said, "I think enough time has passed and it would be nice to meet and talk. I've been home resting, so why not? If you feel the same, let me know." "Mom," I replied, "I heard what happened. I hope you recover soon. If you want to talk, we can, but I don't see where that conversation would lead. Time alone won't erase everything that was said to me without a good reason." Her response, "It wasn't right on either side. If you want to talk, let me know." That infuriated me. Not right on either side? I never insulted them, never disowned them, never spread lies about them. I stayed silent while they called me worthless and treated me like garbage. And now, just because enough time has passed, I'm supposed to forget all of that? She messaged again today, asking to meet in a nearby town. My boyfriend says I should go, just to hear what she has to say. But I don't know. I feel sick thinking about it. I'm terrified that if I go, I'll be manipulated again, that I'll fall back into their control. Everyone around me just says, "Do what you think is right." But I don't know what's right. I don't know how to move forward. Would I regret not seeing her if something happened? Maybe. But is that a good enough reason to open myself up to their toxicity again? I feel so lost. My mother constantly body shames me, and I don't know how to deal with it anymore. TW. Body shaming, ED, emotional abuse. I, 15F, don't think I've ever had a single day in my life where I felt comfortable in my own body, and my mother, 57F, is a huge reason why. I've always been on the chubbier side. As early as I can remember, my mom would make comments about it. One of my fondest childhood memories, her telling me I was so fat that I could just roll on the floor instead of walking. I was 7. Things got worse when I turned 11. I wasn't even that overweight, just a little heavier than average. But between my unhealthy eating habits and my classmates bullying me, my self-esteem tanked. I turned to binge eating for comfort. And of course, my mother didn't help. She'd compare me to my thinner sisters, comment on my weight constantly, and even bring it up to her friends while I was standing right there. Then came middle school. The bullying got worse. Kids made group chats just to make fun of me. They stole my diary, read it out loud, ripped pages from it. I had no friends. And every time I told my mom, she'd just say, "Ignore them." At 12, I became obsessed with my weight. I started going through cycles of starving myself and binge eating. My mom loved it when I starved myself. She cheered me on, called it a diet, told me I was finally trying. She never once helped me develop healthy eating habits, just let me swing from one extreme to another. By high school, the bullying stopped, but my mother didn't. She became even worse. Every single conversation with her was either about my grades or my weight. And as I started developing, she became obsessed with my breasts. I've always worn my sister's hand-me-downs, but once I outgrew them, clothes shopping became a nightmare. Shopping with my mom is one of the worst experiences of my life. She picks out the biggest, baggiest clothes possible. Her style, not mine. If I dare to suggest something I like, she calls me a slut. And for the record, I don't even like revealing clothes. But the worst part? She talks about my body to complete strangers, store clerks, random women shopping nearby. She'll tell them how huge my breasts are, how I need to lose weight so they'll shrink, how I want to dress provocatively but shouldn't because of my body. I've lost count of how many times I've locked myself in a dressing room and cried. And when she catches me crying, she demands I tell her why. If I say it's because of her comments, she either acts like she's the victim, "Oh, so I just shouldn't talk ever again?" forgets about it entirely, or, my favorite, asks me why I have such low self-esteem and tells me I'd be prettier if I just lost weight. I've begged her to take me to therapy. She agreed once, but then mysteriously stopped my sessions. So I decided to help myself. I stopped dieting, stopped counting calories, and started eating intuitively. I've made progress. I feel better about my body now. Not great, but better. And I don't cry every time she makes a comment anymore. But 3 days ago, I went clothes shopping with her and my sister, now 20F, and I overheard them whispering outside the dressing room. "You should tell her something," my sister said. "She needs to go on a diet." I can't tell her anything, my mom replied, or she'll get mad at me for being uncomfortable. 4 years of me telling her how much this hurts me, and that's what she learned. I just want to be happy. I just want one day where I don't think about my body. But with a mother like mine, I don't know if that's possible. What do I even do? Like, if you enjoyed the stories, subscribe for more real-life stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update,